Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Angel Storm. Thanks so much for joining me. Today I'm answering your questions about what is the difference between abuse and narcissistic abuse, and how do you tell the difference between what you're experiencing. And this is actually a super good question, and I actually can't believe that I've never been asked this before. So thank you to Shelly who submitted me this question. Narcissistic abuse is different from regular types of abuse because you don't actually know that you're being abused. Unless you're aware of what a narcissist is and how their abuse looks different than other overt types of abuse, you won't even know that you're being abused. It's because the abuse is disguised as caring. It's disguised as wanting to help you or improve you in some way. And this is what makes this type of abuse so dangerous. One of the things that the narcissist will do in terms of gaslighting is often it will be combined with love bombing. So while they're gaslighting you, no, that didn't happen. I would never say that to you. I think you're imagining things. It will come along with, why would I lie to you? I love you. You should be able to trust me. I'm looking out for you. I have your best interests in mind. I will never lie to you. All of those things come along with the gaslighting. And so it's really like you're having to choose between your own memory and this person who's standing in front of you telling you that they didn't do such a thing, or that you're imagining it. And you're really having to choose between yourself and this person time and time and time again. Not only that, they go in cycles, and I've talked about this before, the narcissistic abuse cycle, where there's extreme amounts of love bombing, where this is not like a regular relationship where, you know, you have the beginning phase, which is like the puppy dog love phase. This is not like that, because this is very calculated. It's so extreme to get you hooked and into the relationship straight away, and that by the time the devaluation phase comes, where a lot of times this can come with name calling and financial abuse, even physical abuse, sexual abuse, or sexual coercion, you're willing to put up with it because those memories of how extreme the love bombing phase was are still with you. And you're thinking that those memories are the real person, that phase that was exhibited to you was a real person, when in reality, the person that you're experiencing during the devaluation phase is the real version of the narcissist. This all happens by the time the discard phase happens, where the narcissist leaves you. You're thinking that you must not have been worthy to be with the narcissist, that you really aren't worth anything, that you don't have a life outside of that relationship. All of those kinds of thoughts are part of the system of abuse with narcissists. This is part of the system. This isn't just a random thing that occurred, like now they got bored with you and now they're just moving on. This is very calculated as well, because as I said, this abuse cycle doesn't end there. It's a cycle. It continues on and on. You're going to enter into a hoovering stage where the narcissist is going to be checking up on you, or using their flying monkeys to check up on you. And that will eventually lead into the love bombing phase once again. This continues on and on and on, especially if you have lived with the narcissist. So if you were married, or it was a mom or a dad or a sibling, somebody that you lived with especially, you become, your day becomes so integrated with theirs. So even if you're aware that this is abuse, like, hey, something isn't right here, you become so accustomed to having your day wrapped around their schedule and, you know, just infiltrated with this type of chaos, that even if you get free of that narcissist, you are somehow able to move out, move on, whatever it is. You will think that that's normal. The chaos becomes normal. That's also part of the cycle of abuse, of any type of abuse, where you just get used to the chaos. But with narcissistic abuse, you will actually go through periods where there won't be any type of abuse, so to speak. So there'll be no contact. that is in itself a form of abuse to you, because you are so addicted to the narcissist through the trauma bond that the silence and the lack of contact from the narcissist will feel like hell. It will feel so damaging to you that you abuse your own self. And this is another way that narcissistic abuse is so damaging. It isn't like you can just point to something physical. Not all of the time will there be physical abuse involved. And most instances with narcissistic abuse, it doesn't involve something physical. It doesn't involve you being able to look at photographs and seeing yourself beaten up, but you'll quickly forget the way that your emotions were wounded, the way that you were mentally tormented. You're going to forget that because you want to believe that the person you experienced during the love bombing phase is the real person, which again adds to this cycle of abuse. I said on my channel, somebody had written a comment on my one of my videos, and I had written back and I said, the narcissist who is trying to educate other people about narcissists and about narcissism is the most dangerous type of narcissist. And a woman wrote back to me, not the woman whose comment I was responding to, another person wrote to me and said, how dare you say that people who are trying to educate people on narcissistic abuse are narcissists? Which was not what I said at all. And lady, if you're watching this, by the way, this whole channel is dedicated to educating people on narcissistic abuse and helping them recover. So how would that even make any kind of sense? This is the result of somebody who has been abused so much that they automatically are so defensive that they can't even receive help when it comes in front of them. This is another result of narcissistic abuse. This is another reason why I'm so dedicated to making sure that there's reliable advice out there that you can actually follow, usable advice, not just good information, but information that is turned into knowledge that you can actually apply to your own self, into your own life. Because when you experience narcissistic abuse, you will feel like everybody is against you and like you have to just do it on your own. That's another symptom of being in this cycle of narcissistic abuse. When there's other types of abuse, especially physical abuse or sexual abuse, we have a lot of groups who can come alongside of you and who can help you, right? Because we can clearly see that there's been damage done. But with narcissistic abuse, narcissists will use those closest to you, often turning them against you so that nobody believes your story. This makes you extremely defensive. And if somebody comes along who's trying to help you and trying to be make you more aware of what's going on out there, you're going to take that help as abuse. You're going to think that that person is attacking you. I see it all the time. I see it all the time in this channel. And I just ask that you give yourself a chance to heal. I have an entire course. It's free. It's a playlist on my YouTube channel called the Life After Narcissism course. Go through it, take it. It's broken out into 12 steps, so it's super easy for you to follow along. You can go at your own pace, and it will help you regain a sense of normality, as well as understanding what has happened to you. And then very clear steps about how to get reattached to your true identity and get connected back into a healthy support system. How to make healthy friends, how to make healthy choices for yourself. Please check out that course. Again, it's a playlist. It's on my YouTube channel homepage. If you go and look at the playlists section, you'll find it there. Because narcissists are such good con artists, they are such good chameleons in the social structure of things, it's harder to pick them out. It's harder to pick them out. There isn't a system, and albeit it's already a horrible system, the one that we have for things like domestic violence and sexual abuse and things like that, but nonetheless, there is a system in place to punish people who violate somebody else, especially somebody else's body. But we don't have such a system set in place to for emotional abusers, for mental abusers, for people who are narcissists. There isn't such a system, and so you're not going to get justice the way that you want to. And also, there's no like registry that you can go check to find out if the person that you're dealing with is actually a narcissist. They're so covert. Even overt narcissists are able to exist because the behaviors that they are portraying are accepted largely in society. These days, largely those types of behaviors are accepted. And so there's no way for them to ever be forced to change or be held accountable for their actions. This is another way that narcissistic abuse differs from regular types of abuse. There's no recourse usually for justice or for making sure that no independent third party is there to register these people so that you can check and see if they're a narcissist. You just need to have really strong boundaries, work on your sense of self-identity, and be able to grow in your gift of discernment, so that when you meet people, you're not making unhealthy connections with them before you're making sure that they're actually a healthy person. I could go on and on about how narcissistic abuse varies from other type of abuse. From the more overt or traditional types of abuse. But long story short, a narcissist will always fold in abuse with what looks like love, what looks like caring, what looks like helping. And that's what makes it so damaging. You are growing a trauma bond so strong that you don't even know you're going to be participating in the abuse towards yourself. You will be complicit in the abuse against yourself by allowing yourself to form that trauma bond. Your body will start working against you. Your brain will release neurotransmitters that will flood your system. It will release hormones and chemicals that will make you addicted to the narcissist, and you don't even know that you're doing it. You don't even have an opportunity to know that this is what's happening unless you've gone through it. Unless you've already gone through this type of abuse, you won't know that that's what's going on. And so that is, in a nutshell, the thing that separates narcissistic abuse or differentiates it between other types of abuse that people are more familiar with, or that are more common, or at least more commonly understood. Thanks so much for joining me today. Again, I'm Dr. Angel Storm. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel below and turn on the little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel.